All right, it is Tuesday, and that means it is time for the bullpen where we talk about everything sales related because we are building $1 billion sales team. They are on the other side of this wall, and I'm sharing all of the secrets, all of the lessons, all of the mistakes, all of the good things we figured out as we are scaling this team to help you out so you can help scale your own brand and your team and just make some more money. Right? So today we are talking about how to leverage social media to make more sales. Because, from my standpoint, on our conference, so we run this huge conference. We spend millions of dollars on social media ads. So this is something I can talk about, from firsthand experience. We do a lot of ad spend there, and we've really figured out how we can leverage that interest and turn that into sales. And we've got a couple different high ticket offers. We run lots of social media for that, but it's really how can you leverage social media content to create that pipeline of sales so you have that steady, consistent stream of sales coming in, with whether it's yourself as a solopreneur closing them or you're feeding your sales team, which is what we're doing in this case. So now they can earn the commissions, they can improve their lifestyle, and then that's also going to help the business. So I've got three main categories, three main things we're going to talk about today as it relates to social media and some actionable things you can do based on my own learning and experience. So the first thing I want to cover for social media is the lead gen aspect of it. Okay. So if you're just starting out, because we've got people who tune into these, Robbie gets the messages behind the camera. So, somebody is maybe just launching their first product, or maybe somebody's already doing a lot of stuff and they just want to take it to the next level. Lead gen is important because without the leads, without the prospects, you're not going to make the sales. If you have nobody to talk to, how can you actually walk them through a sales conversation? Right? It just doesn't work. And a lot of companies, the big issue that they have, and this was something that we experienced when we first started, the big issue they have is, they don't have enough leads. They don't have enough opportunities, prospects that may turn into a customer later on down the road, right? Because with lead gen, it's like a funnel. You put a lot of interest in the top of the funnel. And then once you qualify people, once you have conversations, there's less and less and less people until at the bottom, this is where people actually pay the money. So you have to put a lot of people up top to get those customers down in the bottom. This is why you need a large amount of leads coming in, because that's just going to fuel your entire system and spit more customers out at the bottom. So when I first started, I didn't have very many leads. Right? I needed to figure out a way that I could generate a large amount of interest, and that in turn would create the leads, the opportunities for us to have those sales conversations and then turn them into sales. And that's why I turned to social media, because in my opinion, there is not, because I'd done some direct mail in a past life. I'd done door knocking when I first launched a student painting company back in my younger years in university. I've done a whole bunch of different lead gen. Social media is by far, I think, the easiest one to master, and it's also the most cost efficient. Because, think of it this way. For me, trying to knock on doors, right, for my student painting business, I had to go from 9 a.m. until about 8:30, 9 p.m. in the summertime when we had lots of light. You're literally going all day, knocking on random strangers' houses, and the cold weather, in the, in the heat, in the rain, it doesn't matter. Even in thunderstorms, I would do it. And honestly, knocking on doors in the rain and thunderstorms, you got a lot more sympathy. So you actually had better conversations that way. So that actually pays to go out in bad weather. But it took a lot of work. Plus, you're not as efficient, right? Because now you have to walk in between all the different houses. If you're just on the phone, you can crank through a lot more dials, right? So if somebody has that door-to-door system and then they just switch to their guys to the phone, they're probably going to at least 2x their output just through efficiency. But social media, you don't even have to knock on doors, right? You can just generate a large amount of interest for very, very little cost. Right? Comparatively speaking. Now, for our conference, we spend a lot. Our daily ad spend goes pretty high, but it's still cheap when you compare it to radio, you do direct mail, all of those different options, because I've tried those. So at the end of the day, you need to create interest in leads. So with social media, you can do a couple different things, right? So you can create a lead magnet and advertise that on social media, right? So this is where maybe it's a download, maybe it's a book, maybe it's an interview, something that your customer may be interested in. So for us, we've got on the real estate side, we've got, downloads that they can download, like calculators for deals. We've got ebooks, we've got some white papers, we've got market reports. All of these we offer to the marketplace for free through social media. And now we're going to collect those that contact info, and now they enter in our sales process. And now our reps can get on the phone, qualify them, and move them all the way down to be a customer or an investor, depending on the funnel they come into. That's what we're working on there, right? But lead gen with the lead magnet, really, really important. And another thing we're doing now is we're doing these live streams, right? We're not paying to do this. We're just putting in the time and the effort and the cost of doing these live streams. So we got this YouTube studio. We got Ravi, who's the best guy in the industry behind the camera, running as our media department, media director. We've got the video editors. We're doing that. So we're putting this content out into the social media universe because somebody's going to see it. It's going to resonate with them, and now they're going to reach out and get in touch. So we're not paying to put that in front of you, but we're actually paying in terms of time, effort, energy expended producing this content to put it out there. Now, there's two ways this can go, right? So if you focus all of your attention on producing the organic content, right? So there's organic. Organic is going to take time, energy, right? You have expense of producing it. Right? This is organic content right now. The leads are going to be higher quality, right? Because they've sought it out. They're looking at it. Now, the flip side is you can't get scale through organic content. At least we're not at the point where we get scale through organic content. And then on the other side here, you have paid, where you're actually going to pay to put your content in front of people. It's more expensive, but you're saving on time, right? Because you produce the content once and then you're just going to feed it out in front of everybody, way more eyeballs. So maybe, this video, maybe we'll get a couple hundred people, maybe a couple thousand, like you never know, like eventually down the road with this video. But with paid, I can put that in front of 1,000 people in an hour, right? It's just, it saves you the time. It saves you all the effort. But on the flip side, the quality of the lead is going to be lower. That's just the way it goes. So as you're scaling your lead gen funnel, because you need lots of people in, you need a mix of both. You need a mix of organic and paid. Now for us to use our conference, so we run this huge conference every year, and we scaled it through cold traffic, so through paid traffic. That's how we built the list, because I had 0 lists for that, and we built from scratch. Because of that, we paid a lot of money in ads, right, to generate that, because we didn't have the organic content. So I compressed our timelines by paying for those eyeballs, and we had the system behind the scenes. Or well, eventually we figured out the system behind the scenes. When we first started, we didn't. We had a lot of agencies we worked with who all talked a big game, but they couldn't actually make it happen. So we had to bring everything in house and learn from scratch. But we actually compressed those timelines, so we saved on the time, the effort expended by paying for that traffic, okay? Now, when you're producing content, right? So that's lead gen. Like, you have to bring leads in your top of the funnel, 100%, right? You need more lead gen. If you're not doing the revenue you want, well, you just need more leads. That's really what it is, because lead gen, your sales process doesn't matter unless you're having those sales conversations anyway. And if you are producing all leads and your sales process sucks, you're still going to do way more revenue just through the sheer volume that you're pumping through the system. Okay. Now, the other way social media can help you out to make more sales is top of mind. So maybe, and there are always people in your funnel, right? So they come in, they're qualified, you make an offer to them, but they don't convert, right? They just don't convert. Now, social media is a very inexpensive way of staying top of mind with these people and reminding them that why you're there, why they clicked on something, what you offer, what their pain points are. And this is one thing that we've learned the more we're in here. We'll generate a lead maybe 2 years ago. They don't convert for 2 years, but because we're on top of our retargeting and all that type of stuff, 3 years later, well, now we have people converting. So yeah, our lead cost was high in year one, but now we're making money off of leads that we generated 2 years ago, right? And it's just going to snowball and snowball and snowball as the years go on, right? So but you have to stay top of mind, because if you just generate that lead and you do nothing with them for the next 2 years, they're not going to convert on their own. So you have to build that likability. You have to build that brand, that sense of trust. You have to keep top of mind with that prospect, because they gave you their info for a reason. They converted into a lead for a reason initially. You can't get them on the phone, whatever. You don't know why, but there was a little bit of interest. So leverage that. Stay top of mind. And social media is amazing. We have all these pixels. You've got all these tools like Hyros, Stape.io. There's a lot of different tools out there to stay top of mind with people who interact with you and your business. You have to leverage social media to do that. You have to. Now, here's the thing. Staying top of mind doesn't have to be paid ads. So with our sales team, right, we produce a lot of content. We've got content from the workshops we do, content from our conferences. We've got content from live streams like this, right? So on Monday, we have the real estate show. Tuesday, we have the bullpen where we talk everything about sales. On Wednesday, we have She's the Boss with Katie, talking about female entrepreneurship. And on Thursdays, we have event domination, where we talk about scaling events and workshops and what we do behind the scenes. That's a lot of content that's produced. Now, what happens is our media team takes that content, produces like shorter form content. They'll repackage it, tailor it to different avatars. And now my sales reps can use that to stay top of mind with people that are in their funnel. So this is our pipeline, right? So lead, a qualified, or somebody can go DQ. They have a call booked, they have nurture, and then they can become a customer, right? We have a couple more, but this is it in a nutshell. So somebody comes in, they become a lead, we qualify them, check mark. That's awesome. They book a call, check mark. And now we have to nurture them, right? Because they don't convert to our offer. They don't become a customer at this point for whatever reason. Maybe it's money, maybe it's like whatever. Now we have to nurture these people to stay top of mind. So my sales rep, they can leverage all of the content we produce, right? Social media content. Hey, did he see Seth's latest YouTube video? Hey, did he see Seth's post on Instagram? Hey, did he see this on LinkedIn? Right? We can keep adding value to the prospect. We're not calling just to say, hey, listen, like, give me your money, because nobody likes those follow-up calls. But if we're leading with value, hey, I remember he said this was a huge issue. Like, Seth just did this like 3-minute YouTube video. Like, check it out. It actually will help you guys out. If you're leading with value, that's a way better way to nurture that prospect and stay top of mind than just like calling to hound people for money. So this is how social media can help you out. So with us, we're really going a lot bigger in terms of what we used to do with social media. Because, at my conference, right, we got Robert Herjavec, we got Grant Cardone, A-Rod, Kevin O'Leary. We bring in some really big guns, and I'm talking with these guys and learning what they're doing. So this is why we're doing these live streams. But basically, I am producing content for social media that my sales reps can now leverage to nurture their prospects. And that's going to help them make more sales and move people down and through our pipeline. That's basically why we're doing this type of stuff. Plus, this content will generate leads for my sales reps as well. People will come in the top of the funnel, and then we'll work them through the system and then churn out customers at the end. That's why we're doing this type of stuff, right? That's the power of social media. And we've had some videos, right? We're a relatively small YouTube channel. We're almost at 8,000 people. So we're tiny, but some videos have like 15,000 views on it. That's a lot of people. And the watch time retention is insane on those videos. So that's a lot of people hearing our message, and we generate a lot of leads from those videos that come in. And as we produce more and more content that more and more people are going to be watching, that's just going to fill more people in that top of that pipeline I showed you. And that gives the sales reps more time to more people to qualify, more people to nurture, and then it's just going to snowball and snowball and snowball. So social media, amazing for top of mind. Whether you're going to like pay for it or not, it doesn't matter. Now, the third way you want to leverage social media is you want to retarget or ascend. Okay. So let me just give you a couple different definitions. So you want to retarget your past customers. And this is what we're learning as well with our business, right? If somebody has given you money and trusted you with money, their money in exchange for a service in the past, the chances that they will do so again are quite high, right? Because they already know you, they like you, they know what to expect. So you need to make sure that you're leveraging social media to ascend those people into your next products. So you're going to create different lists. So maybe you have a customer list for product A. You have product B, which is a more expensive product, but it's tailored to people who have already mastered product A. You're going to create on social media different lists, different groups of people that share similar characteristics. And now you're going to market a product B to the list of product A, right? Because you know those people have already given you money. They already trust you, they already know you. Now you just have to create the awareness of that product B. And you know what? Like you may have their emails, you may have their phone numbers, but you can leverage social media to give you that boost because not everybody checks their emails. Like we send out a ton of emails that like we know most people don't read the emails. You can make phone calls, but people are busy. We know the majority of calls that we make outbound do not get picked up. But if you can follow people on social media and your messaging is good, if your content is good, it's a very efficient way to get your message across. There is no better way to get your message out there in front of your past customers or prospective customers than social media. It is dirt cheap. Plus, it's trackable. You know the click-through rates on like what people are clicking on. You can extrapolate pain points and what's interesting, and you can test things. You can't really do that with other forms. You can do it with direct mail, but it takes a lot of volume and it's very, very, very expensive. Right? I tried direct mail in the past for a different, back when I was working real estate. And quite honestly, we were doing a lot of volume, but we didn't do enough volume and enough frequency to actually get over that hump. Right? And it was very expensive. Social media, fraction of the cost and way better results and way better tracking. So this is why you need to use social media. So you want to retarget past customers, have all the different lists that you have. So now you can retarget people just like that, right? And this is how you keep ascending people up because you'll have product A, send them to product B, ascend them to product C, right? And social media can really help with the awareness. Because if the prospect doesn't know that that product is an option, like that's even something like what we struggle with. We have all this attention, we have all these numbers, like all these leads come in. We even struggle with awareness, right? So that's a message to me that we have to do even more on social media to get the awareness out there, right? Because if there's one person in our database that's not 100% sure on exactly how we can help them, that's my fault. Right? We haven't produced enough social media content, whether it's organic or paid, to get that message across. But that is how you succeed and drive sales on social media. And here's the thing. If you generate a lead, even if you do a sales call, so let's say you're doing a cold call to somebody, they have no idea who you are. You have a good conversation, you set the appointment for a full call later on in the day. What's that person going to do? They're going to Google you. And what happens when they Google you? Your social media is going to show up. So now you can use social media as proof, right? It's going to give you credibility. So when somebody searches me up, they see me on stage with Robert Herjavec. They see me with, A-Rod. They see me with Kevin O'Leary. They see the content we're producing. They see these live streams, right? The consistent live streams. They see me talking about the sales process. and they see me sharing what I've learned with the team. They've seen me do all this type of stuff, right? So now that prospect, your social media is going to warm them up before they get on the second call with you. Now, if that prospect searches you and you're nowhere to be found on social media, right? That's a big problem, because everybody should be Googleable, right? If you're not Googleable, if you don't come up, well, are you really real, right? And now credibility becomes an issue. Oh, is this guy legit, right? Oh, did he just start up? Is he new? If you have this track record of social media and it's good quality stuff, right, like we know, like when our outbound team makes dials for our conference and they have good conversations, we know how people are getting to our page. Like we can track, hey, they clicked on this page at this time, right? Oh, we made the call at 10 a.m. Well, at 10:20, they search for us because now they're on these pages on our site. Like we know it happens. Everybody's going to do it. So you got to leverage social media to do it, because people are going to hit your Instagram. They're going to hit your YouTube channel. And the best thing to do, or the best thing, is when they Google your name or your company, and now your YouTube channel shows up, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, and everything's it's all you. That's exactly what you want, because now you are a thought leader. You are producing content, and they're going to go through and kind of him and haw and go through. And if you're doing some good stuff, now they're coming to that call a lot more prepared. And you know what? Like, it's going to help you out. You're going to have higher closes when people do that, but you need that social media to help you out. So that's how you win with the social media game with sales, right? You have to leverage it to generate that lead. Once you've created that lead, you have to stay top of mind. And then once you've generated that customer, you have to retarget them to ascend through your funnel. All right. So if you are a salesperson, because I mentioned we are building our $1 billion sales team, we're hiring a lot of people. I've got big goals for our team by the end of this year and by next May, because we have targets and deadlines set in place. We're looking for absolute killers. Right? This is not a position, or we are not looking for people who have never sold before, who are brand new. I'm not in the charity training business, but if you are a killer and you want inbound warm leads, because our problem is just we don't have enough bodies. We have the lead flow. We just don't have enough people to handle the lead flow. So if you're a killer, go to careers.sethferguson.org. Send in your resume. Let's have a conversation, and we'll see if our team could be a good fit for you. So careers.sethferguson.org. All right. So this has been the Bullpen.